Good morning, guys. Today we're going to embark on a really exciting project. But first, we need to get some stuff in the garden before it becomes 1,000,000 degrees.
This one fell down.
That one sure did fall down. Y'all are going to have a new home soon.
Is that the flat tire?
It is a flat tire. Really got to fix this tire. Are you ready?
Are we?
Yep.
We are doing that. Cheese.
These are Roma tomatoes, and we have had great difficulty finding these things this year. We've been to several different stores, and my dad finally happened to find some at Home Depot. And you can see they are very root bound. They've been in these pots for quite some time, and it is late in the season. So we're just gonna see what happens. We're gonna put them in the ground and see what happens. On top of that, this compost, this black cow stuff that I just put on there, it's quite old as well. It's I think at least from last year, and I just kind of had it laying around. I figured what I have to lose.
I think the root ball is not to do to it.
You don't think the root ball is going to do good?
No.
It might not, but we're going to try. On top of that, this old black cow has got ants in it, so I don't know if it's going to work or not. So far, this Better Boy plant here is really the pride and joy of my tomato crop this year. This plant is just bushed out extremely nice, and it's probably a good 2.5 feet tall at this point, and it is just absolutely beautiful. I don't see any signs of blight on it, and I wish they could all be like this. This corn. This could have probably gone for a couple more days. What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't like it? Okay. Maybe it'll be better cooked. Look at that one. That one is looking extremely nice. This is Silver Queen corn, and I had some worries that this stuff was not really going to make this year because I fertilized it very late, but it's looking nice. Do you want to help me pick some tomatoes? Yep, go put it in the bucket. Okay. Oh, is it closed?
This got ate by a bird.
No, I think it just split open a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's okay though. Ouch. It's chewing on my foot. All right, so while they enjoy their kitchen scraps for breakfast, we're going to take this down. This has been really good for the pigs, but the trouble is the pen is kind of gotten to a place where it really just needs to be a lot cleaner. Pigs are really disgusting animals, and I'm going to start using the deep bedding system to try to keep them a little bit cleaner in here. I get a lot of suggestions that tell me to expand their area, let them clear the woods for you, all of this stuff. Well, I don't really want to expand all that much. I'd have to get some more cattle panels. I really don't trust the electric fence to keep them in that well. So for now, we're just going to keep them in this 16 by 16 and start doing the deep bedding system to keep it cleaner in here.
Asking for more food.
Are they asking for more food? That's the sound that they tend to make when they're hungry, so I guess we'll give them some more. Spilled it. What you just saw me spraying out here was permethrin, 10% permethrin for livestock pest control, and it's just to keep the flies down. Basically, I've had the fly traps out for a while, and they do a little bit, not a whole lot, but combining the traps with the permethrin and with extra hay, that seems to really be knocking the population down really, really good. And putting the hay out makes this place not stink nearly as bad. So I think I'm just going to continue with this deep bedding system. It seems to work pretty good everywhere except for their waller. If you can see in the background, there's a tarp up. Up under there is just a mud hole that I bring water and put in, and that helps keep them cool as well. So pigs are doing really good. They're growing. Last time I checked, I did some kind of measurement. The brown one, Applewood, was at 113 pounds. That was a week ago. He's probably up to 120 by now, maybe even more. But they're growing really well, and we're looking forward to the end product. But now let's go ahead and do the whole point of this video. So this is an Eastern Red Cedar tree, and I've got quite a few of these on my property here, but most of them are fairly small. They grow in the woods and they get crowded out, and unless they've got a lot of room to grow, that's kind of how cedar trees do. If they've got a big, nice open area, they get really nice and really big. But if they're crowded out in the woods, they don't do so good. But this one right here is almost an exception. It's gotten fairly large right here in the woods, kind of crowded out. I mean, you're looking at maybe 12 or so right there. 7, 8, something like that right there. It's kind of a weird shaped one, but it's bigger than most, and we need this tree for a very special project. So let's get it out of the woods. I hope that y'all can see this okay, but this tree of course is in the woods, and it's pretty thick, and it's got a lot of limbs normally like cedar trees do. So it's a very thick canopy up there, so I don't expect it to fall. I do expect it to get hung up, but that's okay because it's also pretty close to the road, and I'll just wrap a chain around the bottom of the tree right here, and I should be able to pull it and make it go down. It's not a huge tree, so all of that should be relatively safe. So this is looking really, really good so far. Lots and lots of good solid heartwood, very little sapwood, good solid heart, no heart rot or anything. This tree is looking like it's going to fit the bill just right. The saw came unstuck pretty easily, but this is actually exactly what I expected to happen. It fell and got hung up in the canopy. Let's go grab a chain, and hopefully we'll be able to drag it out. All right, so here's what I want to do with these posts. Again, these are Eastern Red Cedar posts. Eastern Red Cedar is really good for ground contact, at least the heartwood is. The sapwood, not so much. The sapwood would decay. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very susceptible to bugs and rot, so we want to get rid of this sapwood and we want to be left with the heartwood. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these, make them into timbers, and we're going to treat them with motor oil, burn motor oil, diesel fuel, and maybe an insecticide as well. Then I'm going to use them as a foundation for a chicken coop. Now these are, well, this particular one is the smallest one, and it's looking like it's about 7 on this end and 9 on the big end. So we're just going to get as much as we possibly can get out of these. So let's go ahead and see what we can get. So at this point, I'm really just trying to figure out how big I can make this timber. It is, of course, going to be pretty small. So right now, this is 6 inches, and you can see still a fair amount of sapwood on this, about 1 inch right there. So hopefully maybe a true 2x4, I'm sorry, a true 4x4, which would work perfectly fine. I could have a use for that. So let's flip it and get a square cant, and then we can trim it until we just have heartwood only. So these turned out okay. You can see we're pretty well in the heart there. Lots and lots of red, good heartwood that's rot resistant and bug resistant. A little bit of sapwood left. Right in here, unfortunately, there's a tiny bit as well. Same thing right here. But these are true 4x4s, and I think with some diesel fuel and insecticide and some burn motor oil, these will last a very long time in the ground. So this log is kind of twisted, so I'm confident this doesn't travel all the way through, but it almost seems like it's got a natural square post here in the middle. So I'm gonna just kind of use this as a rough guide and see what happens. So these turned out okay, probably not quite as good as the last ones. These are 6x6s, and there's really more sapwood here than I would have liked. Hope that y'all can see this quite a bit right here with the bark that I just wasn't able to get, because I wanted these at 6x6, and I did end up getting these at true 6x6. But I think with enough diesel fuel and motor oil and treatment on these posts, I think they'll be fine. Plus we'll put gravel in the bottom of the holes so that the water will wick away from them. So I didn't film the last post that I just did, but I got some pretty decent 6x6s out of it. Probably about the same as far as sapwood goes that I've had on the other ones. Pretty decent. So now I've got a really nasty mix here of about half and half burned motor oil, diesel fuel, and a little bit of malathion and some permethrin as well. So it's probably overkill, but I really think if I coat this really good several times, that'll extend its life pretty good. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I really appreciate you watching. I think that if I was a bug, I would stay away from this. It smells pretty horrendous. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these posts down in the ground with a base of gravel so that water can wick away from it, and we'll have just compacted dirt around it, and we'll put our chicken coop on top of that. So that's going to be the next project on the channel, Lord willing. And today is Friday. I'll come out tomorrow and Sunday and put another coat on these things, let it soak in overnight, and just put a new coat on it every day just to get a little more protection on these. And hopefully we can start on our chicken coop by Monday. So that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate you watching, and I will see y'all on the next one.